Hello and good morning. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone here. Thank you very much for sparing time in your busy schedule to join my presentation. My name is Aditya and today I will share a bit about our research analysis of mobility and social interaction resident in Jakarta, Indonesia to build contact network for COVID-19. I will first start with a brief background for the introduction, summarize the research process, and highlight the results. Finally, I will outline the discussion and take a message in conclusion. So let's start with the introduction. As we have already noticed that the spread of infection will be determined by two factors. First, the physical and chemical characteristics of the virus, and second, the social network that define the structure of contact among people. The first determinants seem more familiar, and many discussions and studies have been conducted in this area. In our study, we investigate more on the second determinant, the social network that define the structure of contact among people. Why? Because we have learned that in the previous study show that in early transmission of COVID-19 in Indonesia, a small number of infected individuals are responsible for large number of COVID-19 transmission. Moreover, one simulation study has shown that mitigation strategies that target hubs are far more effective than strategies that randomly decrease the number of connections among individuals. With this in mind, in our study, we explore the mobility and social interaction of residents in Jakarta, Indonesia, to build contact network for COVID-19. We specifically look at the vulnerable or high-risk group to understand their mobility and social interaction pattern as a foundation to build contact network and potential strategies to promote occupational wellness and healthy environment to face and adapt to the new normal situation. We recruit respondents by sharing publicly a questionnaire generated using Google Form through social media. The survey was conducted from March to April 2020 and contained questions about daily travel and meeting pattern in the past year in typical situation before February 2020. We filter the respondents who self-reporting live in Jakarta and exclude those whose mileage per day was more than 100 kilometers. We also exclude respondents who missed reporting the gender information. Following that, several measures of interaction were extracted: mobility range, interaction among people, and interaction among professions. We analyze the results of the questionnaire descriptively and visualize social network contact pattern. A total of 159 individuals participated in the survey and 329 were excluded. Therefore, we analyzed 530 respondents. The number of female and male respondents is comparable. Most respondents work in the formal sector like administrative or financial staff, followed by profession, for example, lawyer, accountant, and architect. A small number of respondents are students and homemakers. 3 of the respondents did not provide their occupational information. On a typical weekday, male respondents have a farther one-way trip from home to their workplace than their female counterparts. Furthermore, on weekend, we found that the frequency of respondents meeting with younger, less than 18 years or older, more than 60 years, people was higher compared to weekdays. We observed that respondents mainly interact with people in the same occupation. And the entrepreneur is the occupation that has the highest number of connection to the other kind of occupation, while the homemaker has the lowest. In the study, we don't find any surprising results in our research. In fact, we believe that most of our findings are just uncovering basic knowledge, personal wisdom, experience, or our intuition. And actually, our research just brings some additional evidence quantitatively in Indonesian setting. First, looking at the mobility pattern individually in more detail, we observe that more female respondents seem to have shorter daily middays than male respondents, as we can see from this point around the bottom of these figures. Moreover, this finding is in line with an early study conducted in Britain that has shown for total long-distance travel that women travel less than men. Second, most of the time respondents with people in the same age group, but during the weekend or holiday season, the frequency of respondents meeting with younger or more aged people become higher. This finding just emphasizes more the importance of vaccine for the vulnerable or high-risk group. In Indonesia, older people contributed to approximately 38.6% of death cases related to COVID-19, with male patients dominating both confirmed cases and death cases among the elderly with COVID-19. Furthermore, there is still no available COVID-19 vaccine for children under 6 years old, making them vulnerable to severe COVID-19 cases. Third, respondents mainly interact with people in the same occupation and suggest that the entrepreneur is the most critical node, while the homemaker is the least. Earlier studies have shown that removing or restricting the top nodes could decrease the size of the infection network. Therefore, informing this work structure would be required for the efficiency of governmental response to COVID-19. It could mean that authorities will make their policies more feasible. Screening and managing nodes with high infection potential might be more efficient than intervention targeting the entire population. And finally, publishing article in which simulation study using occupational category as a proxy for connectedness in a contact network show that prioritizing high contact occupational group achieve similar infection level with half the number of vaccine. Moreover, it could also reduce and delay peaks and dramatically improve vaccine efficiency in the ongoing pandemic. Before I end my presentation, I'd like to bring some take-home message from our study. We have been living in this pandemic for more than 2 years, and the sustained propagation of COVID-19 continues to burden millions of people. However, life must go on, and we cannot live in a vacuum. The challenge this poses is how to control the virus with limited means effectively to promote occupational wellness and healthy environment and to face and adapt to the new normal situation. We believe that an individual could still be socially active, but for now, for the sake of prevention, generally only with relatively few people in the same compartment. Understanding the role of individual in infection propagation is critical for developing model and establishing control strategies. The human interaction network is likely not homogeneous, random, and therefore considering the mobility and underlying network of social interaction would be crucial to identifying effective strategies. This is the last part of my presentation, and I'd like to acknowledge support from my colleagues and the respondent and to the chairman, discussion, fellow presenter, and participants. It would be great to have your feedback. I appreciate your attention.